in the second quarter. You knew the Celtics were going to dominate this game, especially as it got deeper into it. The defense over the last, let's call it 10 games, has really gone up a level. You know, the offense has been awesome for much of the season, but we're really starting to see the Celtics just get to sort of the agitator stage that Joe probably always envisioned in terms of creating steals, just making guys uncomfortable. And it felt like they really, really got up into the Lakers early, and especially with Ugo. We're going to spend a lot of time talking about Pritchard and even JB. I thought the offense was largely inefficient tonight, beyond Pritchard making what seemed like everything. But Baylor playing defense early on Luka, and then sort of passing the baton to Ugo, and Jaylen doing it in spurts, and Keita being good with rim protection. It all adds up to like in a win that you weren't even very crisp. You still win by 20 points, and that probably didn't happen earlier in the season. This little bench shuffle has really helped, you know, give you a secondary scoring option with Peyton being super consistent off the bench. But man, defense was great in this one.
Totally different win than what we saw against Golden State the other night, right? Where the Celtics dominated for 3 quarters, and then the Warriors found a way to kind of make it look closer than it was in the fourth quarter, and the Celtics won that one by 11. This one, Lakers come out, Eddie, it's tied at the end of the first quarter. Even in the fourth, LA was able to cut it to single digits. Joe Mazzulla hits a timeout. Celtics come out, and they respond. And a lot of it, again, was Peyton Pritchard. And Chris brought up efficiency. 10 of 14 from the field, 6 of 9 from 3, perfect at the free throw line. What did you like most about his game tonight? And also the fact that he was one of those guys that kind of responded when the C's needed something as the game got down to single digits.
I like his aggressiveness. The whole game, he was aggressive. He was attacking whoever the matchup was. And it didn't matter who it was. It could have been a taller guy on him. He was still getting to his spots. He was still making things happen. I like that lob that he threw to Keita at the late in that fourth quarter. But he was just playing basketball right here. Does. Oh, go ahead and have a seat right there, young man, and take that with you. 10 of 14, 30 points on only 14 field goal attempts. That's crazy right there. Like, I don't know who really does that. Most of the time it doesn't happen like that, but he was in one of those, what we call the zone, and look at how he's reacting. Yeah, I love all that right there, man. I love Peyton.
Yeah, I just love his patience tonight. I mean, we talked about it at halftime. The play where the ball gets tipped into the backcourt, and he's got to kind of heave it, but he doesn't rush. He gets his feet settled. He gets a good shot off, makes 2 buzzer beaters, and then the fuse was lit from there. And he is just so fearless, getting into the lane, patiently waiting for a guy to either get up. Look he's in there with the trees, and he's not deterred in the least by the fact that he can't get a guy up on the first pump fake. He just waits for the moment, tells the fans about it and the scorer's table, told everybody would listen. The confidence he's playing with and the way that he has embraced going to the bench and thriving in that role has really been key as the Celtics sort of figured out what the identity of this team looks like in the second half of the season. And it's been, I mean, I didn't know he would be this good going to that bench role, but it's been a fantastic boost for this team overall.
When you talk about the different ways he can score over different guys and all heights, doesn't matter what size he's going up against, you have to imagine that's got to be pretty frustrating for a Lakers team that seemed frustrated throughout the night. And Peyton Pritchard just delivering a number of those shots down the stretch on his way to the 30 points. But the other guys see there at the bottom of the screen, Jaylen Brown, 32 in this one to go with 8 rebounds, 7 assists, 3 steals. Did a lot of that work as far as the steals go, and rebounds and assists. A lot of that work in the first half. But once again on national TV, and also doing what he does on Luka Doncic, Eddie.
Yeah, well, are we surprised? You know, and are we not entertained, like you said on the Gladiator? You know what I mean? Like, Jaylen Brown is not surprising us any longer. You know, he's been doing this all season long. He's been the catalyst for this team. He's been setting the tone for this team, and I think everybody else follows suit from what he does. He's a superstar in this league, and what he's doing is he comes out there and he sets the tone at the beginning, and everybody else. You have to follow that. When your superstar player sets the tone and is doing something that maybe you're not doing and playing hard, maybe diving on the floor for a loose ball, going to get rebounds, fighting through screens and all that, you have to do that. You have to do that. Otherwise, it comes up in the film session. And you're like, hey, well, why? If he can do it, why you can't do it? So I think he does a great job. He has done a great job of setting the tone for this team this year.
Yeah, the 10 to 28, not super efficient. I thought there were some times where he was a little too trying to force it, but that happens on a night where the offense needed just somebody besides Peyton to kind of carry them. And I thought his turnovers that he created to points early in that first quarter set the tone for the Celtics. He hit some big threes there in the fourth quarter where they were just kind of trying to stiff arm him and make sure they would get this thing stretched out a little bit. So I think, again, when you're at the free throw line in LA in the fourth quarter and you're getting MVP chance, you're doing something right. I thought JB was really, really good throughout this game.
And again, did it on a national stage with this game on NBC. Meanwhile, Celtics got a nice little spark right out of the get-go. Nikola Vucevic had 7 points pretty much right away. He finished with 9, and he is standing by with Abby Chin back in LA. Get the commanding win over the LA Lakers by a final score of 111-89. All right, time now to hear from Joe Mazzulla. The coach's press conference is presented by Amica Insurance, the exclusive auto, home, and life insurance partner of the Boston Celtics. Here's Joe back in LA.
Joe, these guys have 3 20-plus point per game scorers, one who averages 30. What do you see from the way you guys were able to hold them to such inefficient splits tonight? What do you like about your defense?
Yeah, I mean, you're never going to stop them. I mean, those guys are really good. I think it's just leveraging, what you can live with and what you can take away, and you talk about everybody is like, how are you going to defend them? How are you going to defend them? You got to attack them, So we had 14 turnovers, but I think 8 of them were dead ball turnovers, so they can't get leak outs, they can't get transition threes. So you have to, play coherent, efficient, disciplined, real offense. And so I thought we did a good job of that. And then, they only had 1 dunk. They averaged 5. That helps a lot. And we just didn't give up the little stuff, whether it's the cuts. And then just credit to the guys for rebounding. So it's so good to just test your discipline. And I thought the guys did a good job of that throughout the game.
And it felt like a lot of the runs in this game where one team goes a little cold offensively, say their team is just able to get out and run, but obviously you guys had more of those. Was there something about the way you guys were limiting possessions or, crashing or, you mentioned the physicality on defense? What allowed you to sort of have more of those types of runs?
Well, I think the dead ball turnovers, the dead ball turnovers, and I mean, they shot 18 free throws, they averaged 28, so that allows us to control the transitions of the game. So I thought it was just disciplined basketball by those guys tonight on both ends of the floor, and, it's a credit to the guys.
Joe, in this game, it's Jordan, it's Ugo, it's Baylor taking on those matchups. How did that culture, just routine you guys have of your younger guys taking on those kind of matchups form this season?
Yeah, I mean, I think, one, it's the empowerment from the best players, right? I mean, I think, the empowerment and the trust of, I thought, yesterday in practice, Jaylen is taking Sam and Baylor and Ugo and Jordan and those guys and telling them, here's James, here's Doncic, here's these guys. And so I think it starts with the leadership and the empowerment of the guys. And then, any great team has great role definition. And in order for us to be great, we have to have those guys impacting the game at a high level on the margins, and they do a great job of that, and they take pride in that. So it's the defense, it's the rebounding, it's sprinting to the corners, it's defending without fouling, it's offensive rebounds. I thought Baylor had some good offensive rebounds. I thought Jordan and Ugo changed the first quarter of that game, and I think what Sam's doing defensively, just those guys, it's what we need to do to win, and they buy into it. I mean, you take a look at your roster and you're just like, how can we impact the entire roster? How can we get the best of everybody? Also, what does it look like if we're at our best? Who's doing what for us, right? And so, for those guys to buy into that and for those guys to have an understanding in that, it's a lot of credit goes to them.
Kind of on that same note, a lot of those guys are picking up full court on defense today. How important is